Let's just dive in.
Okay, I'm ready.
So you saw it's called The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you think? I mean,
All right,
is it...
I'm pulling it up now again. Yeah, like you said earlier, the word Star Wars is not in yellow; it's in red this time. It looks a lot.
Yeah, so it makes me think that
darker.
It's about the dark side, and there have been interviews with Adam Driver where it's talking more about terrorism. That was one thing he was talking about, was terrorism, and I don't know if that's going to be the Resistance or if that's going to be the dark side, because I feel like the movies lately have been trying to do gray areas. They're trying to be like, well, they're not entirely all bad like the originals. They're kind of this gray area where they think
talking about Force One or Force Awakens?
Yeah,
I mean, sorry, Rogue One or Force Awakens?
Well, both, because Gareth Edwards actually said what he was trying to do with his movie was he was trying to find this gray area with everyone, with the rebellion and the Empire. But anyway, Force Awakens with the First Order and everything. I don't know. I mean, I like the name, The Last Jedi. Honestly, I think that's what Episode 7 should have been called, is The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But, I've just never been a fan of The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this one, I get more like excited about the way it looks and how the movie could be good, but I just don't see how it can be that good if they're coming off of Force Awakens. I just don't know where it would go.
Well, all right, let's see. Adam Driver's going to have a cape like Darth Vader, so he's going to look a little more like Darth Vader. These are just things that
Wait, how do you know that?
It's either in an interview or the designer or the concept artist or something. They said they're changing Adam Driver's cape to look more like Darth Vader's cape. So he's going to have a longer, blacker cape as opposed to, I guess, like a little wrap around his head. You remember how he had that in Force Awakens? Let's see. He's going to have that. He's going to be scarred a little bit.
No mask?
No. He's still going to have the same mask as what everyone's saying. Let's see. They're going to delve more into the Knights of Ren, supposedly. And a lot of places are saying that Vader's castle is going to make a comeback. And that's where, like, the Knights of Ren hold their audience or something, is Vader's old castle on Mustafar that we saw in Rogue One. Mm-hmm. Because everyone has a speculation, like, they don't usually just do things in Star Wars once and never come back to it again. Or put it somewhere else in another movie or something. So that's a speculation out there. But then there are unknowns that we can only speculate on. Like, is Finn... we've talked about it before, where Finn, is he paralyzed? Does he just have a cut in his back? Does he come back normal?
I would think that would be silly to show that much emphasis on the scene where he got his back cut and not have him be like in a wheelchair or something. Or maybe a damaged spinal cord.
Yeah, he's I
don't know.
Something's got to happen. So then we have Rey being taught by Luke, and like I've said, I hope Luke is a lot more like Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan, where he's a little more soft-spoken.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, just from that one scene, it looked like he was.
Right, but I'm hoping he's not like Yoda. I'm hoping he's not crazy.
So. I think they would have already shown. They would have already shown that, because
that's what I don't want. I don't want Mark Hamill's his real life almost goofiness that he has coming out with Luke, who has never been like that. No,
I'd be shocked if they went that way, especially after they already had him on the mountainside.
Yeah.
But when he you were saying this would have been a better Episode 7 title and everything.
Oh, for sure.
And I think so too, because we didn't really need to set back up anything with Force Awakens. I mean, people watched Episode 6 right before they watched 7, so there was they were already, brushed up on everything they needed to know. But with The Last Jedi, with Luke being the last one, I don't know. I guess they have to and then that makes you think, well, maybe if Force Awakens had to stay where it is, and we're just going with everything's where it is instead of rewriting everything, but if Force Awakens was going to be Episode 7, which it is, I would have said maybe don't even have any lightsabers in Force Awakens at all. If I was to kind of redo it a little bit, and let Last Jedi have the first lightsaber we see since
ignited. Yeah, because I mean, well, yeah.
Just to go along with the Last Jedi thing we have going on here, the title, you know, and it's like, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Don't get me wrong. The last fight scene between Kylo Ren and Rey, it looked beautiful. It was fantastic, but just having her, you know, she gains all these force powers within like 40 minutes. She can overpower a guy who was trained by Luke Skywalker, and she's never had any training. You know, like, so far it's not making sense. You know what I mean? Like, even if they said, yeah, she's a Skywalker, or yeah, she's a Kenobi, or something, it's still not going to make sense. And then there's going to be a lot of backstory that they have to cover. Like, okay, if she's a Kenobi, that means she's got to be Kenobi's granddaughter. So Kenobi had an illegitimate child with someone. Then that person went and had a child, and then that person has to be introduced along with their parents. You know what I mean? Same thing with a Skywalker. If Luke was her father, then we'd have to be introduced to some sort of love interest, which we know they like to get real heavy on love interests and their backstories and stuff like that. And I feel like it's filler nonsense. They don't need to do it. So if she's like a child of the Force, like almost like a Messiah,
like Anakin was.
Yeah, that's what
Anakin was.
That's what has me worried. Is she's like the new Force Messiah. She's balance of she's basically the balance of the Force incarnate, or the Force incarnate.
See, that gets silly though.
It does. It gets way too silly.
Well, the Force balancing, because it's like, all right, decide what you want, man. Is the Force good? And the Force wants to kill evil, or is the Force good and bad, and it's just playing us like puppets? You know what I mean? It's like, figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a necessary.
Okay, we've only got 4 minutes left, so
that's fine. I know it's a necessary evil to have the good and the bad, just for writing plot points. And writing.
Yeah, you have to have an antagonist, protagonist. It's just writing. That's 101.
But it is kind of crazy though to have a good and a bad side to the Force, because.
So let's go into the titles as before. So usually when we come with first titles, it's The Phantom Menace and A New Hope. It's kind of singular. Like The Phantom Menace was Sidious or Palpatine, and The New Hope we were originally thought was Luke. So it was very singular there. You see what I'm saying? The Force Awakens was this big unseen event. The Force, you can't see the Force, or you know, if it is Rey incarnate, then I guess The Force Awakens and her or whatever. Our second films are usually on a much grander scale with a group of people. Attack of the Clones, that's a big group of people. And then we have The Empire Strikes Back, another big group of people. Here we have The Last Jedi, which again deals with a singular, but also it's the only one in the two trilogies to throw in Jedi, Sith, or anything of that nature in the second title. You know, because we have of the trilogies. Like honestly, if this was the first title
and
of 7,
by this trilogy we mean 6, 7, and 8, right? Oh no, I'm sorry, 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. So that's what I'm saying is this took a singular approach. Usually, when a second movie takes a more bigger approach, as far as titles. So that's something interesting. But I do think The Last Jedi should have been 7's title or 9's title. Now I don't know what they're going to call 9 at this point. 9
will probably be like The Last Hope or something.
Probably it'll probably.
Oh wait, no, this is The Last Jedi, right? The Last Jedi.
So this is The Last Jedi. Sorry, my coffee maker's going off in the back. It's turning off. Anyway. So,
but this would have been a great episode 7, man. Like this title and the way it looks.
This title, along with the original Force Awakens trailer, man, where Luke's talking. That would have. I would have just saved that, and that would have been such a huge moment to me. Because really, in that trailer, the only thing that really tripped me up was it's called The Force Awakens. Before they told you it was Force Awakens, but I never liked the title of 7. But 8, I like the title.
It never grew on me either.
Yeah. The title was great, Nate. I love the title. I think it should have been 7 or at least 9, because usually the third movies in all the trilogies have to do with Jedi, Sith, something like that. So that would have been a cool little tie around. But they could have worked it in with 7 being a lot more singular in scale. But in this one, I thought maybe they would have called it the New Order or the First Order or something with the Order, because didn't they blow up the Rebellion or the Republic on like 3 or 4 different planets with the Star Killer?
Yeah.
Like they blew up the core worlds that had all these things, and I was like, where's the repercussion from that we can see in a movie? And hopefully they delve into that a little bit. Not politically, but just now their core worlds are destroyed with all these people. So now the Rebellion, or I guess that's what they're called now, is the Rebellion, is
resistance.
Yeah, is now it's much more smaller scale, and I mean just now the First Order is going to take over like the Empire did. All right, that's 10 minutes. But
all right, real quick, let me work in something.
Okay.
Oh, wait, are you finished? Did you finish up your thought?
Yeah, no, I finished it up, which is basically like I thought this movie would work in a grander scale with the title, with something with the First Order, because they're the new Empire, they're the new separatists.
Oh yeah. So you wish Force Awakens was deleted altogether, and it started with Episode 7 was Last Jedi, Episode 8 was something with the Order. Yeah, like the new war, or the new Galactic Order, or the Galactic Order, something like that, where it was much bigger on scale, where it almost was a title for the enemy at this point. So I guess we need to put in a spoiler warning at the beginning, because we went into a couple of things that people might be talking about on forums that could possibly be spoilers in upcoming movies. Things we're not sure about, of course, like with Rey being Kenobi's daughter. But
this is all speculation. This is all. But as far as
the one thing I wanted to mention,
besides the things that I said were in the interviews, but go on. Sorry.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention that was I heard about it the other day, and you said you didn't mind hearing it.
Oh yeah,
it was a possible spoiler, but it's just a theory at this point. But is that we're gonna figure out in episode, or this episode coming up, episode 8, Last Jedi, who Darth Vader's father was.
Oh, but I don't even think
what do you think
have
about
to.
That?
Listening to it now with how the prequels were, I don't care.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like with Shmi
But I mean,
Skywalker,
what if they do write something that's pretty interesting though? Like his father is
what? I mean, Shmi's not a Jedi. So what could Anakin's father, if this is true, Anakin's father would either had to have been a Jedi or just a Force Messiah, which is what the original thing was, I guess, or something. Or
no, they said he wasn't. They said he wasn't.
Father.
He didn't have a father.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's what they said. I never really.
Right.
When I heard it, I was like, "What?" So I just went past it. But
exactly,
it would be cool though if Darth Vader has a cool father. It'd be like, "Oh wow!" Like, but I just don't see out of the characters that we have who they could even say it was. And
it's Snoke.
No, like Snoke or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we had another theory that we talked about a long time ago, and I wanted to throw it in this video because I thought it was really interesting that, we'd always talked about, well, Snoke's just a clone emperor, or Snoke is Darth Plagueis, or something like that. Something that always has to tie back to the emperor. Well, we thought, what if General Hux is the emperor's clone, and it turns out that he's kind of running the show, or he's because he kind of talks like the emperor.
Yeah,
a little
in
bit.
Force Awakens, when he's in front of the army. Hold on.
Yeah.
In Force Awakens, when he's in front of the army, his eyes start to. He starts talking like really.
Yeah.
I don't know. He gets real into it, and then his eyes start to glow a little bit. And then I remember you telling me about the storyline where the Emperor cloned himself in the extended universe, and I was like, whoa, that guy's kind of got reddish. The actor who plays Hux kind of has that, that hair that might look a little bit like the what's that guy's name? Ian. I don't know. That's the reason I didn't say his name, because I didn't want to bring it up, because I can't remember his last name. So I just said he looks
Emperor.
like the guy who played the Emperor a little bit, the hair color and stuff. So it would be interesting if. But I mean, that's so far fetched, and it's like, even if they did do that, I don't know if it would feel good.
They only have 2 movies to wrap this up. If that, I mean, remember that. You know what I mean? Like, we've got these huge ideas where we're like, oh, well, whose parent is it? Whose parent is she? Does the Emperor have anything to do with this new trilogy? You know what I mean? So at this point, it's like, all right, guys.